right, everyone, week 2 of selling weekly lottos. So every week I sell what's the equivalent of lottery tickets in the stock market to gamblers. This week I win again, okay? But let me clarify some things. I don't sell on margin. All of my stocks, all of my covered calls, all of my covered puts, they are not on margin, not selling naked. I have the shares and I have the cash. Okay, they're all covered. All right. So this strategy, it could underperform just buying and holding stocks long term. All right. But I don't think it's gambling. I disagree with people who call this gambling. All right. Let me try to LE5. Let me LE5 this because last week I made a post. I didn't explain much, but this week I'm going to be more detailed about it. Let me try to LE5 this, explain it like I'm 5, okay? Let's say you have 1 bar of gold, 1 ounce of gold. You bought it for $3,300, and now the price of gold is $3,400. So you have a profit. But instead of just outright selling your gold for $3,400 and taking the profit, you come to an agreement with someone that they can buy your gold for $3,500 within a certain time frame. I give a week, but you can also do a month or a year or anything in between or even longer. All right? So in that time frame, that person can buy your gold for $3,500. But they wouldn't buy it for $3,500 when it's worth $3,400. It doesn't make sense. They could just go to the gold store and buy it for $3,400. So what they really want is the chance to buy your gold for $3,500 when it goes crazy, like goes to $4,000 or $5,000 or $10,000. Doesn't matter. Whatever the price is above $3,500. They can buy yours for $3,500 because they got the agreement, all right? And they agreed to pay you $100 for that chance, all right? So pretty much any price under $3,600, you are most likely going to keep your gold and get the $100 as payment, unless they want to buy your gold for a premium. So that's where this all comes in. So that's exactly what I did this week, but instead of with actual gold, I used a gold ETF and I used different price increments. So let's go ahead and take a look at my options that I sold. Okay, it was a June 20th GLD 315 call, and I sold it for $1.88 per share, which is $188 per contract, and I sold 5 of them. All right. And I bought them back for $2. Let's go ahead and take a look at the profit here. So I bought them back for $2. That gives me about a $930 profit. All right. And I get to keep all my gold shares. So I could write another contract for next week's or 2 weeks later or a month later, whatever. And I get to keep that $930. So I won again this week. Let me tell you the risks, though. It's not always going to be wins. It's not always going to be wins, guys. There's 2 main risks with this. The first risk is if gold goes up so high that I have to sell my gold cheap. And it would have been better to have not written these contracts, because if I just kept the gold, I would have actually had more money. But in this case, I still consider it a win, because I get to sell my gold for a profit regardless. I don't consider the opportunity cost of having a chance to make more money to be a loss. So it'd still be a win for me. That's how I think of it. But then the second risk is that if gold falls so much that the price of gold doesn't outweigh the amount you got in contracts. So if gold fell so far that if the value of the gold is less than the amount I got in the contracts, that would be a loss because I should have just sold the gold instead of the contracts. But also in this case, I'm still going to be okay because I get to keep my gold and I get to write more contracts on it in the future. So for me personally, I think gold is a great hedge against inflation, and I wanna keep those unless someone's gonna be paying me a lot for it in a short period of time. So yeah, so this week I win again, $930 this week, $430 last week. That gives me an average over 2 weeks, $680 per week. I think this is a great form of passive income, and this is something I do every week, every month. So see you guys next week for week 3. Take care.